Here it is. All right. Speaking of where winds meet. Okay, so where winds meet. Let's check. Let's see what it's doing on SteamDB right now. I was gonna praise the game, but I'm upset with the game. Do me a favor, time him out. Time him out. Okay, so let me see. All right, so right now they got 160,000 people playing, all-time peak of 190,000. Okay, so that's where they are. All right, so this post from this girl, amazing. She says over 2 million total players, and people are staring at 180,000 Steam concurrent like it tells the whole story. This is exactly why people need to stop glazing SteamDB as the holy metric of success. We got to stop acting like a single storefront's concurrent chart decides if a game is a success or not. Now, this is an incredibly confusing post. One, because normally when people see 190,000 concurrent players, we all would consider that a success, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know about you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. She's pointing this out as if to say that people are saying that Where Winds Meet is a flop. I don't know how you can consider a game to be a flop with 190,000 concurrent players. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Whatever the case may be. And she posted this after Where Winds Meet said they got 2 million players in 24 hours. Now, listen, I wanted so bad to come out and say, yeah, but how many sales you got? How many units you moved? Can't say that because Where Winds Meet is free. Okay? This dude is bookmarking pure ass. No, that's not what happened. I mean, yeah, it is what happened, but what happened was I got tagged in this. Okay, so that's what happened. That's what happened. All right. Oh, my bad. Where did it go? I got tagged in that, and I saved it for New Blackstreet later. So, G Dollar Price says your boy officially retired today before 30. Hey, shouts out to him. Hold on, can I give you a round? Oh, I ain't got Don DeMarco. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you. Where was I at though? Okay, so I responded to this as it's the only indicator of sales, and every day more and more players switch to PC. More often than not, Steam charts tend to be a direct indicator of whether a game is successful or not. She responded, that's the thing. It's not an indicator of sales. It's just an indicator of the amount of people who are playing at the same time. I know everyone isn't like me, but my Steam library is growing and growing. I buy a lot of games that I haven't even touched, but my backlog is growing because of the amount of games that I buy. I won't show in concurrent players. This is why it's so important, right? It is so important that words mean things. This is why I said that I agree with. However, that's why I use the word indicator. Indicator. It's an indicator, meaning it's one of many variables. One of many variables. I didn't say it's a determiner. I said it's an indicator. Okay? And more often than not, people can tell whether or not your game is succeeding or failing by looking at the Steam chart numbers. Because we don't have the Xbox numbers available to us. We don't have the PlayStation numbers available to us. Sometimes Nintendo will tell you, but if it's a failure, they're not going to say anything. And I don't think it's a coincidence that most of the games that flop on that are flopping on Steam tend to flop in overall, right? A prime example of this, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Prime example. When we saw the Steam chart numbers, what did they? They peaked at 89,000. We'll give them 1,000, 90,000. People was like, no, it's great, it's great. Well, what did we find out later? The head of the game, fired. They claim she left, but she was fired. Or he was fired, I'm sorry. Layoffs. Turns out the game didn't sell that well, and now EA is owned by the Arabs. Let's go to these. Oh, no. Let's go to these quote tweets really quick, right? If you go to the quote tweets, people was on her ass. Oh, look who's at the top. Hypnotic says, wait, are you one of those people that think concurrent players are total sales downloads for a game on Steam? Please tell me you're not. 188,000 concurrent players on Steam, depending on how long it lasts, will usually result in 500,000 to 1 million players on Steam alone. Since, I don't know if you know this, not everyone plays at the same time. And a prime example of this would have been Black Myth Wukong. Remember, over here in the States, when we were awake, the number said one thing. It was like, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000. And then at night when we're asleep, it was 1 million people playing that game. Why? Because China. So yes, we know that. We are very aware of that. But see, the difference is people over here know how to do math. So I know if I see a game that says it only has 50 people playing it. Yes, dummy. I know that more than 50 people bought this game. Let me continue with his tweet. More people come in as people leave. So yes, Steam is in fact a really good indicator of a video game's retail success from an actual purchasable standpoint, or in this case, a free-to-play download standpoint. It is obviously not the full story because you would need to know a game budget, but this game doesn't even cost money. It's a free-to-play game. If it didn't have this many people trying it, it would die immediately like most do. It's hilarious to try to push the narrative of Steam doesn't matter. Meanwhile, 3 of the 4 metrics the developers are using to push their game marketing are Steam metrics, with PlayStation all the way in the corner on the right. Let me see. Steam top sellers, top 7. Steam most played, top 5. Steam 24-hour peak, 170,000 plus. PlayStation Store best-selling 7 regions. That's the trump card right there. If the studio is using Steam metrics to rate their game, why the fuck wouldn't we? Hey, listen, I know that I say this a lot. But I do mean it when I say some people talk just to hear themselves talk. People say things that mean absolutely nothing. They didn't think it through. They didn't comprehend what it was they were even trying to say. Some people just say things. Why would you come on here and say, we gotta, and he screenshot this in her post. Why would you come on here and say, we gotta stop acting like a single storefront's concurrent chart decides if a game is a success? And that same game that you're talking about uses 3 of that storefront's metrics to rate their game, to rate whether or not their game was a success. Oh my God. Truly baffling. That is nasty work. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. And like I said before, I did invite her to come on to New Black Street to talk about it. Will she respond? I highly doubt that. But we'll see. But yeah, that's crazy work. It's like you didn't even like you saw 2,000 players in 24 hours and forgot to read the rest of the post. And it's definitely not helping the black people don't read narrative. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. I think Hypnotic said she blocked him. Let me go back. Did she respond to this one? I don't think so. Did she quote tweet it? No. View quotes. Huh? Keep reading, it gets better. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just where did she respond? Or is it not showing because she blocked him? Because I saw it earlier. I don't know what happened. He said she's in there. She must have went back and deleted it. Check your post. Check your post to see if she... There's no way. Yeah, nah, it's not here. Unless she quote tweeted it, it's not here. I know I saw it earlier, but she might have deleted all of her posts after. Let me see. Let me go to her replies. No, it's right here. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Damn, y'all was going back and forth. Oh hell nah. Am I tripping? Okay, whatever. All right. So Hypnotic says you said over 2 million players in the highlighted picture, and then claim only 188,000 concurrent players proves that Steam doesn't tell the whole picture. Your 100% thought, man, bro, what in the hell is going on here? So she said, no, I'm not one of those people who thinks the CCU is total sales. I think it's not showing the whole thing because she blocked you. There's no way. Because like even when like it doesn't show this comment in your thread. And then it shows your reply, but it doesn't show her reply here, even though it says there's a reply. And when I go back, it shows her reply. What? Or Twitter is broken. Anyway, so okay. So no, I'm not one of those people who thinks the CCU is total sales. All right. He responded with that. You 100% thought concurrent was total sales download. It's okay to be wrong. She responded, no, I didn't. Please go and read the comments in my post again. I said 2 million people because over 2 million people were reportedly playing the game according to the developers of the game. That's a lot of people who are playing. I showed the Steam concurrent chart because people were telling me on Twitter and on Facebook that this game is not doing well because of the concurrent screenshot from Steam. My stance was that's not true, and we can't go by that CCU because over 2 million people have been playing the game, according to the developers. Sit down and shut up, please. You're loud and wrong. Now, two things could be happening here. Either she's not lying when she says the people in her algorithm was telling her that the game was not doing well because it only had 190,000 people playing it. So either the people, and she probably aimed this post at those people if they exist. If those people exist, then they're stupid. And if it means what she's trying to say it means, then she's right. But what the more likely scenario is, she probably been feeling this way about the Steam, and she decided out of nowhere to post this and make this narrative, not understanding that concurrent concurrent players doesn't mean that's all the people who bought the game. Because I can't see any real people saying that 190,000 players on Steam is not doing well. I can't. I'm to the point where I'm like, sir, you got to show me who's saying that. Even if it did mean that's all the people who bought it, then we would have to go back and say Arc Raiders isn't doing well then, right? Because if it did mean that, then only 500,000 people bought Arc Raiders on Steam. But we know it doesn't mean that. So I don't know. Let's keep going though. Let's see. Bro. Okay. He says, yes, you did. You tried to downplay SteamDB to upsell other storefronts. This is retarded. You said stop glazing SteamDB as the holy metric of success. God damn. It is the only metrics of success gamers have. There is no other storefront that is either relevant or actually transparent, even if they are relevant. Steam is the biggest storefront there is, with over 150 million active users. Even PlayStation has 120 million active users, and that's with PS4 and PS5 combined. If the haters were trying to say that the game was a failure because of the Steam numbers, then that's because they don't know how to read or use SteamDB. And that's pretty much what I just said a minute ago. So we on the same page with that one. Doesn't mean SteamDB is at fault like you tried to imply. They announced 2 million players for the game, and as I estimated, 188,000 concurrent will result in anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million players on the platform of Steam. According to SteamDB estimates, while it's too early to tell right now, the highest is at 1.1 million players on Steam alone. So in fact, SteamDB does tell a damn good story of what's going on, more than you tried to imply. You could have destroyed the haters without trying to downplay SteamDB, but we all know why you did that. Even if you think you are smarter than anyone else, or I'm sorry, everyone else, and no one can catch on to it. Everyone knows there are other storefronts, but since they don't show their numbers in any transparent way, no one gives a shit. Steam is the biggest platform and has transparent numbers, so that excuse is out of the window. Not sure why you're telling me to shut up and that I am loud. Sounds like massive levels of projection. Actually, that was pretty racist. If you know, you know. Sounds like massive levels of projection. If you don't want to engage with your post, don't post on X. She responded, exactly. There are over 2 million people playing the game, yet there are people looking at the Steam concurrent numbers as if it's telling a whole entire story, and it's not. They're saying that the game is a flop because of these numbers, and I'm like, that's impossible. There are 2 million people playing the game. Like I said, sit down and shut up. You're trying to decipher something when you have no idea what I'm saying. I don't think you have any idea what you're saying, to be honest with you. Either that or neither one of you have any idea of what each other is saying. Because no, fuck that. I need to see the people that are saying this is a flop. I think that could nullify this whole conversation. If you can bring to me, like, I'm asking, who's saying it's a flop? If you can show me the post of where people are saying, yeah, this is a flop, I'll be happy to say, okay, I get where you were going with that. You're still going about it the wrong way, but I see where you were going with that. The people who are saying that this is flopping are morons. But I would venture to believe that you don't have those screenshots and you don't have those posts because nobody was actually saying that. Nobody's actually saying that. What's more likely is that somewhere in the past, one of your favorite games or a game that you liked wasn't performing well on Steam. And people were using Steam numbers to kind of reflect that the game wasn't doing well. And you, because you're upset about that, don't believe that Steam tells the whole story. What storefront does. And so to illustrate that point, You tried to use where the winds meet as a variable to prove that Steam doesn't tell an accurate story of how well a game is doing. However, your point is moot because one, it's the only metric that we have to show how a game is performing. Two, on average, games that haven't performed well on Steam tend not to perform overall. And three, the people who are telling you that this game is a flop likely don't exist. So there's that. There's that. As I mentioned, since you seem to ignore the part where I said if the haters were saying the game is a flop, then it's because they are reading SteamDB wrong. You chose to downplay SteamDB as a way to fight back against them, when in fact you didn't have to do that and could have just destroyed them with the facts, like I provided with you. Glad we can agree SteamDB is a great source to find information on video games performance. I'm glad to have made a new friend on here. Yeah, she definitely blocking your ass. She definitely blocking your ass. Well, because I can see that what you posted and you're trying to switch it up because of, well, I meant what I meant. Yeah, we know. I absolutely switched nothing up. You want me to switch up, but I'm not switching anything up. Again, like I said, read the post, then read the conversation. Oh, that's that black girl jargon. It's like it's like a black woman can post 2 + 2 = 6. And then you'll reply and say, nah, 2 + 2 = 4. And she'll look you dead in the face and reply and say, read the post again. What? What? Where is it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Oh, y'all better be glad I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Black girl magic. What the hell? I'll play it again. Black girl magic. Fucking black girl magic, bro. I'll tell you. Fucking black girl magic. Anyway, I'm going to use the restroom really quick. I'm definitely not editing that part out. You see. I'm gonna go and use the restroom really quick, then we're gonna get back into some Arc Raiders. I really wanted to play Where Winds Meet. I really did. But that shit pissed me off. Oh, no. Let's see what y'all can hear. They repeat themselves. Yeah, bro. It's like, I'm pretty sure that was, it's the DoorDash girl. What was it? Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, be right back. All right. Sorry about that. Y'all know how I get. Hypnotic said I'm skipping the best parts. No, it's also discombobulated, like the way Twitter's got it. I'm telling you to sit down and shut up, because who are you to tell me what I'm trying to say? And when I've told you 1,001 times I'm saying it in my post. Hold on. Got my headphones on wrong. You literally said stop glazing Steam as a holy metric. That is downplaying SteamDB. You can pretend you didn't do that, but you literally did, and we all know why. You really like to tell people to shut up online. Mighty brave of you, stunning even. I can feel the power. Hey, yo, this nigga's a grade A troll. Stop glazing Steam as the holy metric means stop acting like CCU on one storefront equals the entire play. You don't have any other storefronts. You don't have any storefronts, bro. What's up, Sergeant Giratina? Somebody named A is in the chat. He says, dang, what was that noise? I'm not sure. What you talking about, brother? That's not downplaying SteamDB. That's correcting bad interpretation for the people saying it's a flop based on that. SteamDB is great for what Steam represents. It's just not the universal scoreboard for every platform combined, especially when the devs already confirmed 2 million players. So no, I'm not pretending anything. I said exactly what I meant. God damn, boy, y'all niggas was going at it. I literally said in my post previous that everyone knows Steam is not the only storefront in the entire player base. Wow, we agree even on more things. If only you could actually read the post instead of being so emotionally taken over that you ignored it and went full attack mode for some reason. As mentioned previously, for the third or fourth time, maybe you will pay attention this time, Steam is not the full representation of the entire player base. That would be what's called a monopoly. Do you know what that is? However, to tell people to stop glazing it when it is the only transparent platform to be to the public with their numbers is disingenuous. It's like she's telling you the only metric you have. It's like when I say to black people when I talk about the census, right? I always say like there's 46 million black Americans. And they'll say, no, that's the white man's numbers. And I'll go, okay, where are your numbers? Well, what do you mean? Well, you're saying that there's more black people in America than the white man reports. So how many are there? I don't know. So you willing to walk around here and tell me that the CDC's numbers is dog shit, but you ain't got an alternative. Same thing here. So you willing to sit here and tell me that SteamDB, we shouldn't be using SteamDB as the metric, but you don't have any alternatives. Anyway, however, to tell people to stop glazing it when it's only a transparent platform to the public with their numbers is disingenuous. Steam players represent estimated over half of those 2 million players reported and will likely account for even more. You can admit a platform is important while not in the same breath downplaying it because you desperately want people to pay attention to other platforms that don't tell you a fucking thing, you retard. Can you tell me how many of those 2 million players are PS5? How many are Xbox? How many are anything other than Steam? No, you can't. But I can tell you how many of them are from Steam with nearly spot-on estimations due to their transparency. Two things can be true at once. They are not mutually exclusive. You keep repeating the exact point I made from the start and acting like you're correcting me. SteamDB is great for Steam. It's just not the full player base. God damn. Now, this hurts. Jesus Christ. That was my whole point. You're arguing with a version of me you invented, throwing insults and still Did she just say throwing insults when she was the first person to say sit down and shut the fuck up? I'm done with this convo. We're done here. No, I am talking with the person who said what they said and doesn't like that someone is correcting them. Then you went mask off in the previous post, melting down over Steam, only to be wrong again. Thank you for the mute. I appreciate it greatly. Hilarious that you say I am throwing insults when you indeed were the first one to do it multiple times, telling me to shut up and sit down. Fantastic lack of accountability. As expected, be well, sister. Oh no, then he called it a sister. Holy. You keep rewriting the conversation to fit whatever story you want to tell. I clarified my point. The entire time you kept arguing with your own version of it. That's why you ended up agreeing with me while pretending you were correcting me. Boy, women, 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 women. I'm not wasting another second on this. Be easy. I thought you muted me. Why did you respond again? It seems like lying is a part of your forte. Interesting indeed. I didn't rewrite anything. You know what you were doing. Got called out on it. Didn't like it. Insulted me. Then got mad when I threw insults back, pretending like you didn't do it first. Fucking hilarious. I agreed before the SteamDB does prove the game is doing well, especially among PC users. Something that you tried to downplay to bolster other stores without having zero knowledge of it. You still cannot tell me how many players are on any other platform, so now you're moving on. Makes sense. As I said, sister, be well. She stopped replying, right? She had to have stopped replying. Nope, she replied again. You keep spinning your own narrative and arguing with points I never made. I corrected the way CCU was being misread. You turned it into some dramatic storyline about downplaying Steam. That's on you. You can stay in whatever version of the conversation you built in your head. Well, let's go back to the original post. Over 2 million total players and people are staring at 180,000 Steam concurrent like it tells the whole story. This is exactly why people need to stop glazing SteamDB as the holy metric of success. Let's go back to what she said. You turned it into some dramatic storyline about downplaying Steam, but you literally said, stop glazing Steam. I'm sorry. I got to jump in. I got to jump in on this. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me a second. Oh, hold on. No, I don't want to do that. Let me do this. I'm sorry. I got to jump in on this because this is insane. All right. Because this is insane. Like, there's got to be some level of accountability here. Where did it go? Oh. There's got to be. Here we go. All right. I had to get that off my chest. I don't think she's going to accept my invite to New Black Street anyway. So if she blocks me, she blocks me. But I just couldn't let that stand. Like, what do you mean? You spent some story about me downplaying SteamDB when that's literally what you did. She blocked me after that. I couldn't respond. Well, you're not going to get anywhere responding to somebody like that anyway. That shit is crazy.